Welcome to Dead Man Talking. Tonight's show is from the incredible mind of DueMud1461 from over on Reddit, No Sleep. And as ever, please do let us know what you thought down below in the comments box. Please do like and share. It really does help build the channel and our community further. And why not hashtag TeamFEAR and DMT's Cryptid Crew. And so, with that aside, let's get into tonight's story. Entitled, I used to be the best hunter. Let's get straight into that. I'm a sheep farmer from down under. Dingoes and wild dogs can be a real pest with livestock, so I'm no stranger to losing a few sheep here and there. However, if you don't deal with the problem quickly, you can lose up to a third of your flock in any given year. Recently, we had a pretty bad spell of drought, and I've been highly motivated to make sure I don't lose any more money. This event took place about 2 weeks ago. I was rounding up livestock with the assistance of my beloved Australian shepherd, Cody. He's a beautiful purebred kelpie that is mighty efficient when it comes to running operations on the farm, and the sheep, they listen to him, and he need not bark twice to get them into line. The same chain of command existed between us. On this particular morning, I noticed some damage to the field's boundary fence. A large hole had been dug beneath the barbed wire and traces of what looked to be blood had dripped onto the dirt surface. This was a pretty good indicator that a dingo had snagged one of the little ones. Quick head count confirmed I was down on one of the lambs. I recall being slightly jarred by the dingo's movements. The dragging of an entire animal was extremely unusual and seemed like an unnecessary, arduous task. Typically, they would leave behind at least some remains. I justify this occurrence with dingoes being renowned for being merciless killers and strange in their motives. Sometimes they would kill a sheep for the fun of it. With this in mind, I excuse the strange behavior as another one of the many abnormal characteristics of the pest. Naturally, I was quite furious about the incident. How is it that humans can be so high up on the food chain and still find themselves being knocked down by a wild animal? I needed to reassert my territory. You can always use poison to eliminate a dingo threat, but there was no guarantee it would work, and I didn't want to risk Cody ingesting such a thing. I couldn't forgive myself for that. I was desiring a quick solution to the problem, and maybe an act of vengeance, and so I decided to sit out at the farmhouse's porch that evening with my rifle. Growing up in rural Australia had gifted me with a very precise aim, hunting being a favoured pastime of mine. If I missed, the sound of the bullet would at least let the dingo know this area I wasn't theirs to prowl. The porch looked over 100-metre stretch of field that separated the farmhouse from the untamed bushland. The luscious green grass slightly contrasted the tangled shades of brown branches that swallowed the horizon. I assumed this is where our thief was coming from. I spent the afternoon carving out a double-pointed wooden stake. At 50 centimetres in length, the sharpened pole could be planted into the ground firmly with a chunk of meat attached to its top. I placed my lure into the field soil, halfway between the farmhouse and the wilderness, and the 100 metres had been transformed into a death strip. Twilight came and I settled into my seat. I held my rifle firmly in my right hand and gazed towards the meat stick. Cody sat beside me, arguably more alert. Although he was an attentive dog, I had never seen him so focused. He stared at a point separating farmland from bush, never breaking his eye line. His ears pricked up every sound nature spat out, and they revolved around his head like tiny radar dishes. And then he whimpered. Usually, when you live somewhere alone and isolated, you find yourself conversing with man's best friend. You don't need to worry, Cody, I whispered, petting his black fur. You're on the side of the better hunter. A branch snapped. Suddenly, Cody pounced onto all fours and began barking out into the field. I snapped my head back to the wooden pole and raised my rifle. The meat was gone. I scanned the farmlands but found no sign of whatever snatched the lure. It couldn't have been a dingo. That was too quick. Something would have had to run that stretch within a matter of seconds. My mind raced to what other possibilities could be plausible, but there were no conclusions. How had it slipped away? I thought to myself. Cody lost it. With each bark I felt there was the ever-diminishing chance of catching the thing. The sheep had begun to race around their paddock, triggered by the familiar sounds of his yelps. I grabbed his collar and managed to get him seated. His paws danced nervously on the wooden panels as his eyeline remained locked. I could feel his tiny heart thumping through his chest. Cody, he didn't look away. This was bad. He always listened to me. Cody! He quickly flashed me a look before turning back towards the strip. He saw it again. I knew he saw it because he erupted once more into a series of barks. I swirled and followed his line of sight. Something else was attached to the pole now. Something I hadn't put there. I couldn't make sense of the white blur at first until I saw its bloodied leg. The missing lamb. It was still alive. A makeshift rope of bark and vines had been tied around its neck, connecting it to the pole. It bleated out in pain and confusion. And the most unsettling part of this visual was that it seemed the rope had been decorated with small daisies running along its length. Whatever had done this was far too fast to be human, far too intelligent to be any creature. As I was about to run out and reclaim my missing property, I observed the warning sign and stopped. Scrawled in a lamb's blood across its wool was a singular word. Bait. I dared not fall for my own trick. It was mimicking my own tactics. I had never been taught how to hunt such a thing. I had become awfully quiet. It was dark now. Cody had finally stopped barking, and instead he sat looking at me in a way he had never done before, almost as if he was re-evaluating me. Until that night, I didn't know dogs could do that. And a piercing whistle cut through the cold air, emanating out of the bush. The sweat on my palms made the rifle slippery to grasp. Both Cody and myself looked out into the thicket and watched as the cloaked figure stepped out into the moonlight. The dark robes it wore looked like they were part of its body, melded into its flesh. I was right. It wasn't human. The figure lifted a grey, scabby hand into the air, raising the stolen chunk of meat. Cody glanced at me. Cody, no. He slowly began walking off the porch, gingerly placing each paw. The figure whistled once more, beckoning him. Cody, stay! I yelled. He didn't listen. Cody ran out across the grass, passing a lamb, and sprinted his way towards the thing. I aimed my rifle and hovered my finger over the trigger. I was ready to shoot. And the hooded figure moved the meat in front of Cody's nose and waited. Cody sat down, obediently. The meat dropped to the ground, and Cody pounced and started to inhale it. The hooded figure leant down and began to slowly pet him, and it was looking directly at me. White eyes staring into my soul with every stroke of my dog's fur. I couldn't believe it, and dropped my rifle. Cody had chosen the side of the better hunter. Wow. Suddenly another one. Wow. Short but absolutely packing a chilling bite there. And that's from the incredible mind of DueMud1461 from over on Reddit, No Sleep. A huge thank you, Dew, for allowing me to narrate your incredible story on this show, and thank you for your patience. I know it's been quite some time since I asked for permission, but nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed my rendition, and certainly look forward to more of your work in the future. Well, guys and girls, as ever, you know the drill. Please do let us know what you thought down below in the comments box. Please do like and share. It really does help build the channel and our community further. And why not hashtag TeamFEAR and DMT's Cryptid Crew. Now if you think your pen can pack a punch like that, please do get in touch with me at the contact email, which is, as on screen, contactthedeadone@gmail.com. I really look forward to hearing from you. I hope you all had a fabulous week at work or school, or perhaps you're a long-distance driver and listen to the show to help with those long drives. Whatever it is that you do, I hope you're enjoying it and are giving it your all. But above all, guys, remember, be safe, not sorry.